Good day once again, fellow learners. This is your mentor, Ray Gapus, joining you for part 2 for this specific concept on entrepreneurial behavior and personality. So let's get the ball rolling. This time, before we begin, let's focus on the objectives for this session. And let me begin with this question. Do certain traits predict an entrepreneur's likelihood of achieving success? Mag-start tayo muna sa blind item. There's this billionaire entrepreneur who's very young. Kasama ko sa business club. Kasama namin sa Go Negosyo. Na minsan nakasabay kong sumakay ng eroplano papuntang Iloilo. Uy, daming clue. Okay. Para showbiz now na. Okay. Anyway, and then my staff said, because that's a sponsored flight, so I was invited. So, masaya ako na dahil sa imbitasyon na yon, ibinook kami ng aking personal assistant, my executive staff, sa business class. And so, nagkita kami sa airport nung kasama ko sa business club na billionaire entrepreneur. And then nakikipag-usap ako. And then my very observant executive assistant eventually asked me, sabi niya, "Sir, sino yung kausap mo?" Binanggit ko yung pangalan. And then, sabi niya talaga, siya yun? Siya yung may-ari ng ganito? Eh di ba sir, bilyonaryo yun? And then I said, oo naman. Tapos bigla akong tinignan ng executive assistant ko. Sabi niya, sir, ba't ganun ang itsura? And then I said, bakit? Ano itsura? Sir, parang bagong gising. Hindi na plancha yung damit. And nung kami sumakay na ng eroplano, he was hoping makakatabi namin sa business class section yung aking bilyonaryong kasama sa business club. Lo and behold, ang nasa business class section lang ay kaming dalawa ng aking executive assistant. But don't get me wrong, yung nag-imbita sa aming organization is the one that booked me doon sa business class. I really wouldn't mind. Kahit sa tricycle mo ko pasakayin, basta makakarating na Iloilo yun, I wouldn't mind. Okay? Kahit sa Kalesa pa. Okay? And then, sabi niya, sir, nasaan na yung bilyonaryong kasama mo sa business club? Sabi ko, ewan ko nga eh. Tapos maya-maya nakita niya, tinawag yung papasok. And then sabi niya, sir, sabi niya, nag-i-economy siya. Sabi ko, di ba sir, bilyonaryo yon? And then I answered back, kaya nga siya naging bilyonaryo eh, kasi nag-i-economy siya. And that was the same answer that one of my friends told an acquaintance when tinanong ako, Ray, gusto mo bang bumili nito? Pwede mong i-credit card. And I said, ayoko, hindi ko pa nasisettle yung isang credit card ko eh. Sabi niya, edi yung iba pang credit card. Sabi ko, hindi, isa lang ang credit card ko. Sabi sa akin nung kakilala na nag-o-offer ng kanyang product. Ano? Si Ray Gapus, kaya isa lang ang credit card mo? Sabi naman ng aking kaibigan, kaya nga siya naging si Ray Gapus eh, isa lang ang credit card niya. What does that tell us, class? It's telling us that our decisions and outlook on how we spend our money would determine how much we would be able to save in our entrepreneurial venture. Remember, wealth is not about how much you make. Wealth is how much remains after spending what you make. So wala yan sa laki ng kinikita. Nandun yan kung magkano ang natitira sa malaki mong kita. Mahulaan nyo sana yung blind item. Sasagutin natin yan as we go along our discussion. Okay? Blind item in a positive way yun ha. Pakisumbong nyo ako. Okay? Pwede siyang email. Sabi mo, sir, bilyonaryo ka pero sa economy class ka daw na nagsumasakay. At sasabihin yan sa'yo, oo naman. Pero syempre, pinakagusto ko na nangyari sa akin, pag nakakasabay ko yung isa pang friend, no? Yung bunsong babaeng anak ni Lucio Tan, si Vivian. Okay, bakit? Ginagawa niyang taga-bitbit yung mga flight attendant ng PAL. Sabi niya, "Hinako, wag muna tayong sumakay, dito muna tayo mamaya." Sabi ko, ha? Okay. Pero yun ang masaya minsan. Okay, let's go. So, what are the 11 characteristics of successful entrepreneurs? This is based on an article of collated studies, based on collated studies published by the Harvard Business School. So, number one, curiosity. So, as an entrepreneur, you have to continuously seek new opportunities. How do you do that? First, have a drive to consistently ask questions. Like for example, kung may itinitinda ka na isang set ng plato, usong-uso yan ngayon, no? Bibili ka ng plato sa dapitan, yung online sell mo, okay? And then sabi nung bumibili sa'yo, yung budget ko kasi pang-6 na piraso lang eh. Yung package mo pang-12. Dapat magtanong ka kaagad. Kung bang magki-create ako, ang itanong mo, kung bang magki-create ako ng package na 6 pieces lang, bibili ka? That's how you actually build your business. Ask questions from your customers. Kasi at the end of the day, sila ang magdidesisyon kung bibili ng produkto mo o ang serbisyo mo o hindi. So, always have that habit of asking questions. Okay? Huwag masyadong rigid pag nag-uumpisa ng pagninegosyo. Okay? Next. Structured experimentation. Conduct market research and then test run. Okay, masyadong malalim. Gawin nating pang-estudyante ang level. Okay, ano ibig sabihin yan? For those of you na hindi pa pinapanganak, nung turn of the century, okay, early 2000, before Facebook, there's a very, very popular social networking site, Friendster. Kaya kung hindi makalimutan yan, hindi ako gumawa ng Friendster accounts ko, kundi lahat ng mga estudyante ko, "Sir, mag-Friendster ka na para maka-friend ka namin." Okay, so they created one for me. Okay? However, eventually, kahit nauna ang Friendster, natalo siya ng Facebook. Bakit? Because Facebook was quick to adapt by focusing on the experiment. Ano yung experiment? Tinignan nila how their customers are using their product. O ginamit ngayon ang Facebook sa pag-online sell. So nag-adjust sila ng kanilang features to allow that. Okay? And we are supposed to be that proud kasi sa Pilipinas nag-umpisa usually yung mga ganyang idea na naglako-lako tayo on social media. Now, some businesses become successful on their secondary purpose, not on the primary purpose. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang original lang na idea ng Facebook ay gumawa ka ng iyong collection ng photo album on the internet para makikita ng mga kamag-anak mo, ng mga friends mo. However, people came up with a better idea. Use it to sell their goods and services. And so, you have to base your decision to revise your product based on that specific experimentation done by your customers. So at least yun, nakamura ka na. Hindi na ikaw yung nag-experiment. Sila na nag-experiment para sa iyo. So you always have to engage in structured experimentation. Okay. Third, adaptability. Know how to evaluate situations. How? First and foremost, as they say, change is the only important thing in this world. Therefore, you have to be able to anticipate change. There's no such thing as what is effective before is still effective now. No. Things have changed. People have changed. The attention span of the Gen Z learners has gone down to 8 seconds. Okay? So therefore, huwag kang create ng video mo na 8 hours. Wala nang manunood niyan. Okay? Huwag kang vlog ng 5 hours. Wala na rin manunood niyan. Because if you would notice now, the vlogging is geared towards videos that are less than 10 minutes. So why would you stick to your 3 hours, 5 hours vlogging? Okay? You have to learn how to adapt. Okay? Next, decisiveness. Have the confidence to make challenging decisions. If the outcome is less favorable, come up with a corrective action right away. So being decisive does not mean that you have the answers all the time. Being decisive simply means you take a stand based on your absolute truth and values as an entrepreneur, which simply means dapat may desisyon ka. Hindi bukas, hindi sa makalawa, ngayon. Okay? Parang yung kanta yan, di ba? Iturin mong kahapoy wari, panaginip lang, ang bukas pangitain, ang ganday sa isip lang kung bawat ngayon mo. See? Ngayon dapat now. Now. You have to decide now. So that when the decision does not turn out to be that good, you have time to reassess and introduce a corrective action. Next, successful entrepreneurs are confident. They have the confidence to advocate for their products. So if you don't believe in your own product, who else would believe in you? So dapat ikaw ang nangungunang naniniwala that your product works. But make sure that when you create your product, it has to be something that's very unique that your competitor cannot copy. So what makes an enterprise successful? Only one recipe. Something that they cannot imitate. If your business can be something that can be imitated, you'll have a lot of competitors in maybe an hour's time after you launch it on social media. But if the core of your business is something that is unique to you and nobody knows it, then by all means, go ahead. Have the confidence and advocate for your product. Next, team building. Okay, now pay particular attention. The success of any enterprise and the success of an entrepreneur is spelled as T-E-A-M, team. Okay? No man is an island. Okay? Even if you are the primary decision maker, creator, thinker, marketer, and advocate of your product, you have to be able to build a well-rounded team to complement your abilities, to correct your weaknesses, and to add to your strengths. Some people would consider political power as part of their team building strategy for an enterprise. That could be good, but once again, without an excellent product, your connection power or political power cannot last long. So what withstands market forces would be an excellent, unique, well thought out product that you can simply put there side by side with any competition, and they can withstand market competition because of a unique feature. So think about what makes your product unique. So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. Next, risk tolerance, okay? So you have to learn how to manage and balance risk and rewards. Learn how to minimize failures. Now, remember, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success, and it's the job of the entrepreneur to implement strategies to minimize the risk. Like, for example, some of the risks that we have here in our country could be disasters. So if you are a startup entrepreneur with limited capital, you earn a lot of money, and then some people would usually have this idea na bibili ka agad ng building. Ang nangyari, biglang nag-earthquake, nagkarambol ang building, hindi nabayaran ng insurance. You did not minimize your risk. Sabi ko nga lagi, why buy when you can rent? Okay? Now, that leaves you thinking, applicable din ba yung mantra na yan sa pag-aasawa? Why buy when you can rent? No, I'm not saying that. Okay, just for you to remember that mantra. In order to decrease the risk, you have to know how to minimize the risk. Okay, next. 8, comfort with failure. Now, prepare for and be comfortable with failure. So I've been saying a while back, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is always a part of success. So if you want to be successful, you double your failure rate. But some people, because they keep on failing, they don't know how to cope with failure. Okay? They cope with failure by scratching everything and venturing into a new thing in which they will fail again. You don't do that. You have to build on your previous failures to create a successful product. Wala pong produkto na effective kaagad. Kaya nga merong mga test run yan eh. Not until you put that in the market, you would not know how people would respond to it. So keep moving. Move straight ahead. Next, persistence. Be willing to learn from your mistakes and then be optimistic. Try to see your missteps as opportunities to learn and grow. You don't say, I failed. You say, I learned. Okay? And then, number 10, innovation. So you have to know what is existing in the market, how can you improve on the products and services, and then create a brand out of it. And finally, long-term focus. Remember, entrepreneurship is a long-term endeavor. It is not something that is for someone who has a very narrow idea of what they want to achieve. So an entrepreneur would always continuously grow and sustain the enterprise. And sometimes this requires a lot of work. It takes a toll on their energy. It takes a toll on their relationships, but that's how they are, okay? Now, let's put a little Filipino flavor on this entrepreneurial characteristics, okay? So, can we raise would-be entrepreneurs? Here's what Joy Abakin, through our Go Negosyo publications, have to say. The 8 simple secrets to raising entrepreneurs. According to Joy, 1 is knowing thyself. All children are smart. There's no such thing as idiot or moron. The job of the parents and the teacher is to work on the strengths of the children. Look, our national hero, Jose Rizal, his first teacher was his mother. Okay? Now, if you are very, very fond of animals and you've came across the YouTube channel of Big Boss Bully PH, okay? This guy ay passionate about dogs. Okay? Nag-umpisa sa isang pet dog na binili niya. And then because of his interest in dogs, bumili siya ng madami, then nag-breed na siya, came up with his own pet shop eventually, and now nag-thrive na yung business niya. Okay? Nagbi-breed na siya ng dogs, nagsisell na siya. Okay? And he's offering different services now for dogs. So therefore, you can turn your passion into an entrepreneurial venture. First things first, you have to know what your passion is and make sure you actually fulfill or pursue your passion based on your absolute truth. Okay? Okay, next, attitude. Develop the can-do mindset. Look, Ricky Reyes wanted to become a hairdresser at age 13. And even if they are so poor that he cannot afford to go to school, he persevered, and now he's a successful entrepreneur. Okay? Being the president and CEO of the Gandang Ricky Reyes chain of salons. Okay? Okay, that's the winning attitude. Next, entrepreneurial mind. You have to have a vision. I keep telling you this in part 1. You begin with a vision. What do you want to achieve? You should have a clear idea of where you want to go. That's according to Marixit Prieto, CEO of the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Okay? because your vision provides you with a sense of direction. Okay? Next, money smart. Okay, remember our blind item a while back? Teach children how to spend wisely and how to earn honestly. Now, in Japsia of Mang Inasal, initially help out in their family business by manning the cash registry. So mahusay siya talaga sa pera. Alam niya kung saan niya dadalhin ang pera niya. Okay. May clue na uli sa blind item. And that is reflective in everything that he does, okay? Hindi siya nag-i-splurge ng pera. Sa dami ng nakasama kong mga bilyonaryong entrepreneurs, diyan mo makikita kung sino yung mas maraming saving sa bangko at kung hindi, bakit may makakasama ka? Magbubuk kayo sa 5-star hotel. Hindi siya gagamit ng kwarto at siya lang ay maghuhugas lang pala ng kamay doon sa kwartong binayaran ng pagkamahal-mahal. Okay? Meron namang entrepreneur, sabihin, oy, yung budget ko dun sa room, bigyan mo na lang sa akin. Pupunta siya sa mas mura at safe naman na dormitory for that engagement. And, as long as you are comfortable, that's perfectly fine. Remember, I've been saying, ang wealth ay hindi nakadepende kung magkano ang kinikita mo. It depends on what remains after your spending. Mentorship. Now, we are all learners and our parents can be our mentors. Look at the C family. So when Henry C passed away, the children have to take charge. And that's how it should be. So kailangan may mentor ka na magsasabi. On my end, my mom was really my mentor and up to now, lahat ng sinabi niya at iniwan niyang lesson sa akin, I live with all of this. I live by all her reminders. At ang lagi niyang sinasabi, lalagyan mo ng puso ang ginagawa mo. And everything follows. Don't mind what people are saying because your core or your essence as a person is more important than the perception of the people around you. So at the end of the day, you have to go back to your core. What defines you as a person? And that's where you should strive to thrive. Okay? Work ethics. Foster respect in the work area. Now, Sir Tony Tan Kachong, who owns Jollibee, and I am formerly, when I was a student in college, a crew of Jollibee. Everyone in Jollibee, from the CEO to store's kitchen crew, respectfully address each other as sir or mom. So which simply means you have to have set standards on how you will work your way to the top. And that begins with yourself and your coworkers. Starting a business, the heart of the business is to begin with yourself. The question is how? First and foremost, I'd like to share with you the results of a survey that we did in one of our companies. And my question is, how do you put a heart in what you do? And this has been collated by Professor Che, okay? So I call her Ma'am Che, okay? And Ma'am Che Rian Durante was recently awarded the Young Investigator Award in Asia. And she won representing the Philippines, of course, siyang aking research body, yan ang kapartner ko pag kami gumagawa ng research, okay? And this is what came out of what we did in that survey. How do you put a heart in what you do? First, interact and connect. Do that to your customer. Make sure they know you. Need-based teaching, know their felt needs, which simply means, ano ba ang kailangan? Huwag mong ipilit ang produkto mo if it doesn't meet the need of the customer. And then share past struggles and success. Ayaw nang marinig ng tao ngayon yung puro success, puro magaganda, puro mamahalin. They want to see and hear stories of failure and how people rose above their failures. Then personalize their experience. There should be something more than the usual that they're getting from others. And then incorporate authenticity. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to base your actions on your absolute truth. Kailangan totoo ka. Then respect the limitations of your customers. Then encourage before, during, and after the lesson. So that forms the mnemonic INSPIRE. Once again, interact and connect, need-based teaching, know their needs, share past struggles and success, personalize their experience, incorporate authenticity, respect their limitations, and encourage before, during, and after the lesson. That's a quick survey that was presented in one of our monthly meetings. And of course, number 8, making a difference. A business is not just about making money. That's not the primary motivation of an entrepreneur. It is about helping people through innovative solutions. It is about inspiring them, influencing them, and making them believe that they too have their entrepreneurial traits inside themselves. And your job as a mentor is to bring it out so they can use it properly. So, this is the end of part 2. Thank you. And this is Ray Gapos once again saying maraming salamat and see you in our part 3.